Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the GE Refrigerator Defrost Limiter Thermostat. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new Defrost Limiter Thermostat. The defrost limiter thermostat is temperature activated. It's what allows the defrost cycle to come on. It's also what shuts it off when it gets too warm inside the freezer. The main reason to be changing it out is if it's shorted out and the defrost cycle isn't working. In order to get to the part, we have to open up the freezer door. We have to take out all the freezer shelves so we can get access behind the back panel. To get this upper one out, all you have to do is lift one side of it and then push it that way, and that'll let the other side come out. Then you can lift it up and pull it out. This small one here, all you have to do is lift up on it and pull it out. And all the remaining shelves, all you have to do is pull out the rails and lift out the baskets. Next, we're going to remove some parts to make it easier to get the back wall out. We're going to take out these two upper rails on this side. We're going to use a Torx 15 driver to remove the screws that hold it in. The front one, you're going to have to pull the rail out a little bit to get this hole aligned with the screw. You may have to move it around, push it back in. Once you get it lined up, then we can take the screw out. Want to make sure you hold on to the rail too as you're taking the screw out so it doesn't drop. The lower one is done the same way. Now we can remove this back panel. It's held in by a couple clips. You want to make sure that you pull straight up on it, and that'll release it from the clips. If you try to pull it outwards, you'll end up breaking it. Now we can remove the light shield. There's a locking tab on each side, which you have to press in to release. Once you have it released, all you have to do is lift it out of the back panel. Next, we can take the light bulbs and the sockets out. Light bulbs you just want to unscrew and set somewhere so they don't get broken. Now there's a little tab on the light socket right here that you can just press with your finger. Once you have the socket out, you can just reach in and disconnect the wiring harness. All you have to do is pull it off. The other one comes out the same way. Now we can use our 1/4-inch nut driver to remove the 4 screws that hold the back panel on. Now we can pull the back wall out. You have to first push it down a little bit to release the tabs up here, and then we can pull it out on the side we took the rails off. Now that we have the back panel off, we have access to the defrost limiter thermostat. Now we can remove the clamp that holds it to the evaporator line. The clamp has a release on one side that you have to unhook. Once you have the clamp unhooked, you can remove it from the evaporator line. Now we can reach in with our wire cutters and cut the defrost limiter thermostat out. Here's the old defrost limiter thermostat next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. As you can see, here's the new hook mount. It's a little bit different than the old one, but it'll go on there just fine. The defrost limiter thermostat comes with a big length of wire depending upon different applications. You may or may not need it. Since we need ours to be pretty short, we're going to trim it off just so we don't have all that excess wire in there. Now we can strip off the ends of these wires, and then we can strip off the ones inside the freezer. Remember, if you're using wire nuts, all you have to do is screw them on and make sure they're going nice and good. If you're using any sort of crimp-on things, whether it's butt connectors or wire nuts, you want to make sure the wires have a good connection. And then we can put the wire nut on and clamp it down. Now that we have the defrost limiter thermostat wired in, we can snap it back on the evaporator. Once you have the defrost limiter thermostat on the evaporator tube, we can put the fridge back together. Now we can put the back panel on. In order to get the back panel on, you want to put it in an angle just like we took it off. And once you get the one side in, then you can rotate the other side in. And then we can lift it up and put the screws in. Once you have it in place, you want to lift these tabs up so they go behind this other panel. And then that'll line the holes up so we can put the screws back in. Now we can reconnect the sockets and put the light bulbs in. All you have to do is plug the sockets in. Make sure they go all the way in and get a good connection. And then we can snap it back into the housing. The one on the other side is done the same way. And then we can screw the lights back in. To put this trim piece in, we want to make sure that these tabs right here go behind those little locking tabs on the wall. To put it back in, all you have to do is set those tabs a little bit above the ones that are on the back wall, and then you can lower it down into place. Now we can put in the side rails for the shelves. We're going to use our Torx 15 driver to do it. We're going to drop one in there, and then line it up with the hole and put it in. Before you have that one tightened down, we're going to put in the front one and make sure it goes in the hole good. Once you have the front one in and tight, we can do the back one. The upper rail is done the same way. Now that we have the rails in, we can put the light cover back on. To get the light cover in, you want to make sure that these two lower tabs go into the hole in the back wall. And then you can rotate it up and snap the upper ones into place on each side so it locks in. Now we can put all the freezer baskets back in. All you have to do is line them up with the shelves and put them in. The lower one just slides into place. The upper ones, you have to pull the rails out, make sure that the basket rears go underneath these tabs, and then make sure that the 4 posts go into the holes right here. Once you have it on, you can push it back in, and the other 2 are done the same way. The upper 2 shelves just kind of sit in place. This one, all you have to do is set it on top and slide it back. The upper one's a little bit different. We have to put it into the 2 holes and make sure it goes all the way up against the wall, then lower it down, and then push it into the other side. Now that we have the part installed, we can close the freezer door, plug it back in, and make sure it starts to cool. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.